All right, I usually do my Facebook lives in the morning. I meditated it, thought about it all night and all day, and then meditate it first thing in the morning. Then I go work out. Then I come talk about it. Okay, but something popped that's amazing. Okay, so I'm reading Matthew 17, and in the very beginning, he he's talking to the Sadducees and the Pharisees, and he's saying, can't you, you can read the weather. You see, the red sun on the horizon means, clear skies in the morning. But if there's clouds and there's a red sun, that means there's going to be rain in the morning. But you can't read the sign of the times. All right. And oh man, he goes. So I'm like, yesterday and last couple of days, I've been just hearing start off with Glenn Beck and talking about how the banks are going to the Fed to get money, and he showed what something's going on. They're in crisis. All right, Dave Ramsey's telling everybody to get their money out of the banks and put it in credit unions. And I'm like, okay, so what's causing this? Well, then today, Glenn Beck shows a graph and how much TARP money was taken, how much money was lent to the banks in the end of 2007, the first part of 2008. All right, and then it shows nothing, no short-term lending bailout, thrown into the markets for 10 years. And now they've already reached a third of what they happened in TARP, and already the numbers are 30% higher than they were in TARP during the bailout. All right, and that's when then somebody else is talking about credit card debt and the baby boomers lifestyle, and 50% of the 28 million baby boomers that are moving toward retirement age are going to hit their retirement age in 2020. And that's when it hit me. Okay, what's going on is there are investors that are leveraging everything they have on a sure bet. And that is that the market's going to crash when these baby boomers hit their pensions, and the pensions are underfunded. All right, and it's going to cause a huge collapse in the market. Okay, but these guys are invested in derivatives, puts. They're investing in they're betting that the market's going to crash. They're going to make crazy money. The banks are going to get their money back. All right, there's going to be some carnage, and it's going to be with the baby boomers. It's going to be in the housing market. Okay, because these baby boomers they're going to be able to either sustain what they have, or they're going to be downsizing, moving into nursing homes, whatever, right? But it's going to affect it's going to have an effect. We're going to feel it everywhere, but it's not, I can't believe that Dave Ramsey is wrong. Okay, the banks aren't going to fail, all right, unless everybody starts, does a run on the bank like they did in the 20s, all right. But that's why I'm making this video tonight. Okay, this is what's happening, all right. And I'm reading in the scriptures, and thinking through that as I'm getting this information, and it comes together. That after 6 days, God takes James and his brother John and 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 Peter, and down, it's out in the wilderness, and Elijah and Moses come to him, and then Peter, is one of the Three Stooges, man. He's in his subconscious programming. He's, I'll make a tabernacle for the three of you. And then this big booming voice of God said, "This is my son, and I am pleased with him." And they just hunker down, and for fear of the voice of God, and Christ has to get them up, right? But what happened? What happened? It's a combination of, see, Peter and James and John all get this experience. They're going to get this high stress. The voice of God is hitting them, and then it's that overwhelming positive, Psych K experience, of course, that they got to see Christ, glowing and shining, and then getting visited by Elijah and Moses, and then here, so they just got changed. They got changed through all that, okay? But, reading the sign of the times, and I'm bringing in all this information, and I'm thinking back of what was, Paul Dietrich said 10 years ago, that there's going to be a bifurcation, and these advisors are no longer just looking at what sector in the market's going to be moving. They're going to look closer at the companies, at the people that are running the companies, and their history of good decision making, and their system of how they're doing things, and their marketing. But the biggest thing is no debt, so they wouldn't be dependent on the banks. I heard that 10 years ago. And this other lady came in that she used to be part of the Federal Reserve, and she was talking about how they are keeping the bank interest rates low, the CDs and the savings, so people will put their monies in the market, all right? And when the market starts kicking and people are getting returns on their investments, then they'll start investing in their businesses and create more jobs, which hasn't really happened. There are more jobs, but they're lower paying jobs, and they're service related jobs. So all this I've been paying attention to, okay? But then there's that mass of 28 million baby boomers that are moving through time, and 50% of them are hitting retirement age in 2020. And there's state and municipal pensions that are not funded. They're unfunded liabilities. And then, of course, the stock markets is, going to be affected by this. All right, now it could come right back, right? But the housing market's going to be affected by this. All this is happening, but all this is with this short-term lending increases is they're greedy people, right? But they're not stupid. They paid attention. They're taking advantage of the 28 million baby boomers who didn't pay attention and didn't save their money, and played that keeping up with the Joneses, right? And those chickens are coming home to roost. But that's what this is all about. You don't need to pull your money out of the bank and put it in the credit union. You really need to you better be paying down your debt, and get your emergency fund, and start get proper protection, right? And start saving for your retirement. And you know what? I know somebody can help you, all right? But that's what this is all about. I can say that I was right and Dave Ramsey was wrong. I'm excited about that. All right, bye.